Greetings from Gorilla Beach. Wish you were here. I'm Chelsea, codenamed CeeLo.
And I'm Stalling, codenamed Agent S. And where is Catherine?
I'm right here.
Catherine, what are you doing on that bike?
I'm riding it.
Yes, but why?
Because today's episode is about bicycle safety. And boy, do I need it. I'm not even wearing a helmet. And do you know, on the way over here, I almost got stung by a Portuguese man-o-war. Someone threw it at me. Here it is.
Cut down before you get stung.
They sting you?
Yes, bad.
This would probably be a good time to show you our conversations with Supreme Court justices. This week, I interviewed Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer.
Ay! That stings!
Let's roll the tape.
It's burning my tongue!
Bring the noise!
We are here with Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. Thank you very much for your time, Justice Breyer. Is it okay if we record this and play it back for the Gorilla Beach Film Factory?
Boy, I'll certainly expect it to be. I certainly hope so. And I will.
Now, Justice Breyer, your first job was not as a lawyer, right?
No.
In fact, when you were in college, you tried to get a job at the NASA moon base, but it didn't work out. Why not?
You cannot work there.
Was that because it was the moon or because NASA hadn't built a moon base yet?
There are ways of finding out.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, maybe it was the Martians. I'll bet they probably sabotaged the whole project.
They're the ones.
Anyway, after failing to get a job on the non-existent moon base that was sabotaged by aliens, you did finally get a job. It says here you worked inside the third stall in the men's restroom on the second floor of the Supreme Court.
I had the special job of opening the door in case somebody knocked, you know,
Did that ever happen?
once they had coffee for Justice Scalia.
Sounds like a very exciting job. What'd you do when there was nobody in the stall? Did you flush the toilet a lot? Did you watch it go swoosh? Did you...
Look into it with care.
I see you have a TV over there in the corner. Do you ever watch Sesame Street?
I see that every day.
Some of those episodes are just classic.
I mean, they're very, very good.
Did you ever see the one where Bert and Ernie are arguing because Ernie accidentally let Bert's pigeon out of its cage and Bert takes him to court?
Yes.
Did you hear that case in the Supreme Court?
No.
I kind of always took Ernie's side in that whole thing. I mean, it was Bert who hadn't closed the cage correctly.
We're on totally opposite sides.
Wow. Okay. So you think it was Ernie's responsibility to not only take care of the pigeon, but also to test the security of the cage gate?
It isn't surprising that people divide on such questions.
I guess not. You know what was another good episode? The one where that guy, that Muppet, that blue guy, he was kind of balding and he had a mustache and he always wore a hat and a suit. He was kind of nondescript. He was just sort of like a Muppet character actor. What's that guy's name? You know, I'm not even sure that guy had a name. Anyway, in this episode, Cookie Monster finds the guy's lunch and eats all of his cookies.
And what happens is they shoot each other.
Yeah, so, wait, did you just say they shoot each other? I don't ever remember that happening in any episode.
They should.
They should. They should have episodes of Sesame Street where the Muppets just gun each other down.
Did I really say that?
You did.
Oh dear.
Why would you say that?
It can happen.
Well, I know it can. Kind of thought in that episode where Big Bird was angry with Grover and Oscar that he was going to whip out his jammy and flat blast both of them.
That's fine with me.
That's fine with... No, that's not fine. You can't have that. We can't have Muppet violence on TV. What if Mr. Snuffleupagus gets severely injured?
Tomorrow is another day.
How can you be so callous? You never shot anyone, have you?
I came in my office, and there was someone looking through my law books. So I said, excuse me, can I help you? And I think it was probably a student of some. She said, I had a question. I just thought I'd come in and look at these books. So I thought, shall I be a little annoyed?
So you shot her?
No, maybe she's a constituent. Do you say?
Something doesn't make sense to me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you actually vote to limit the right to bear arms?
I don't know what that was about.
Have any of the justices ever been shot by Muppets?
I don't think that's happened since I've been here. If you were to find a counterexample, fine. But I don't think it's happened since I've been here.
I think you're sitting on something. It looks like a Starbucks menu.
Now, that's a tremendous, tremendous treasure for the United States of America.
Yes, I'm sure it is. A Starbucks menu that you sat on. I'll alert the National Archives. In the meantime, Justice Breyer, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
You and I were the greatest allies in the world on this case.
We sure were. And here it is. This Starbucks menu is going into the Smithsonian Institute. Hey, Catherine, maybe you can ride into town and get us some Starbucks.
Okay. Where's town?
Maybe we shouldn't send her alone.
Yeah. Besides, I don't really like Starbucks.
I can't stand it. I think it tastes like burnt trash.
Yeah, I don't either. I only drink coffee out of the can.
Right. Anyway, before you go riding this thing into town, maybe we should take a look at some good bicycle safety rules.
And there's no better way to do that than with today's Riff Flick.
Cool. Can we make fun of it while it's still playing?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Hey, is my tongue flowing?
The Oprah Winfrey Story.
Whoa, this has Dan Whitehead in it?
Maybe it'll also have Derek Zitzberger.
Or Paul Pusspimple. We need more Hutto!
But Captain, we're at Max Hutto already.
Did you guys hear who?
This story is about 10 rather close relations of ours who seem
That's
to
what
get
happens
into
when you marry your
almost
close
exactly
relatives.
the
You grow
same
tails
kind
and
of trouble
stuff.
we do. All 10 of these jolly characters lived in the same neighborhood and were all good friends.
Ow! Bad
Generally
touch.
speaking. Each of them had a bicycle, and each took care of his bicycle in exactly the took care of himself.
With lots and lots of grease.
Sharks, pegs, Lucky.
Get away from that carcass,
One
you
day, they
scavengers!
heard a
I
good
want the
thing
liver!
No,
and
me!
decided
Me!
to have a picnic just 9 blocks away. Now that doesn't sound far, but a lot can happen in 9 blocks, right?
Sure, my cousin once got
Well,
mugged in
sound
9
off out
blocks
there.
one time.
I said
That
right.
doesn't make any sense.
Right. So, they all ran home and made themselves sandwiches.
I like sandwiches.
But of course, human. Then they hurried back, all ready to go. Now, one of the 10 was a rather hungry type. His name was Slim Jim McGupney.
Distant
and his
cousin
picnic
of
lunch
Beef
was
Jerky
what you might
McJerktaboy.
call a portable banquet, right? Right. Slim knew that his big sack would be hard to handle, so he asked Orville Slump if he'd carry it for him.
No way,
Orville
carry
had
your
a
own
basket
sack.
on the rear of his bike. He was a good sort, and he answered, okay. Some of the others noticed this and asked him if he'd carry theirs, too. Orville answered
Slim should
graciously,
consider
"Well,
upgrading his
I
shirt."
guess so." And naturally, everybody else did the same until Orville's rear basket looked like a chuck
I
wagon.
like sandwiches.
Man, how many sacks are they gonna?
Ah!
At last, they were
Just
ready
when
to
I was
go,
getting
and
over
at a
my
given
nightmares
signal,
about giant pieces of cake,
They
this!
Is he sitting on the wheel?
You know how chafed his butt's gonna be?
The invasion has begun! Finally puts to rest all those stupid evolution theories, though.
Okay, I'm going on record right now. This is the most frightening thing I've ever seen, and that includes an interview with Lindsay Lohan.
Now this is Ruthie Toot Jasperson. He
He's a
had the
toot.
newest bike in the bunch, and he was as proud of it as he could be. He made it a point to get in the lead, and there he intended to stay. It would seem that Ruthie Toot was a slam-bang go-getter.
Whose face will I
headed
know
for
of
big
today?
things in life. right? Right. But when you have to be first all the time, there are a few things you find you don't have time for. Such things as making hand signals. Oh, he knew very well
Make
that bike
signals,
riders are supposed
not
to signal
war.
just like auto drivers. Hand down for slow or stop. Hand up for
Hallelujah.
right turn. Hand
Slap me
straight
some
out for
skin,
left
man.
turn. But pretty soon,
Seizure
he
time.
began to feel silly making so many signals to stay out in front. So he skipped one to rest his poor old tired arm. Just one signal, once.
Look out for that Edsel.
Ah!
At this point, Rudy Toot Jasperson left the party.
And they thought they'd never clean those monkey parts off the grill.
What's up with the kid running like Dr. House?
Maybe someone stole his bike.
I know where you could get a slightly damaged bike cheap. Rudy Toot Jasperson.
I got a feeling these guys' legs are gonna give out any second now.
This charming little thing was actually christened Tinkerbell McDillingfitty. She's a sweet and lovely girl, but she has...
I hate it when my head itches right after I got my hair did.
Sometimes she forgets to brush her teeth.
Sometimes she
Sometimes
forgets
she
to
leaves
pull the
homework
bugs
at
out of
home.
her friend's
And
back.
sometimes she forgets to look at traffic signals. Now she knows that she should. She knows that she should ride just like auto drivers drive.
Talking on her cell
She's
phone
so
and not
busy
paying any
being
attention to the
happy
road.
all the time that our little thoughts tend to wander. And, oh dear, they're wandering again.
5,
Here she
4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy,
Happy birthday!
Exit
Tink,
Tinkerbell
Rocky, tink.
McDillingfitty. She forgot now and then. Now, let me introduce Philip Flugel. He's a star athlete, the president of his class, an honor student, and he has the handsomest profile in school.
And his
Just look
baboon
at it,
butt
will
was
you?
the reddest.
Now, Flug, as his friends call him, has one little flaw in his character.
He's
He
an
is
animal.
very easily bored. Right now, he's asking himself why everyone has to go up this side of the street. It's so samey.
Fred
So,
Sanford's
proving
truck.
that even a class president can make mistakes, he decided to ride against traffic.
I need
Oh,
some
he knows
lederhosen
that
to
auto
match my
drivers never
hat.
do this, and that he should follow the very same traffic rules. But he's in the mood to do something different. Anyway, there are no policemen around to see him.
Whoa!
Man, that was close. He could have really damaged that van.
Where to, sir?
Wolf!
Caffeine!
Philip Flugel is no longer bored.
Bet he's stiff as one, though.
Nice chucks.
We're gonna die as we ride our bikes and disobey safety rules.
You've probably wondered about this fellow on foot.
Gotta
His name
get
is
to a
Mosby
bathroom
Pomegranate.
fast.
He's splendid in dramatics, but he works so hard memorizing his lines that he doesn't get around to a lot of other things. He
No,
never
my body's
made it
rejecting the
down to register
transplant.
his bike and get a license for it. He knows very well that a license makes it easy
To kill.
find out who he is if he's in an accident, and makes the bike easy to trace if it's lost or stolen. That's his trouble. Last week, while he was rehearsing the lead in King Kong,
He must be
someone
playing the
rode off with
Naomi
his
Watts
bike.
part.
Yeah,
He went
explain
to the
why he's
police,
running like
but
that.
of course they couldn't help him since it had no license or registration.
Foul ball!
He stomped out of the police station angrily, and he's been stomping ever since.
Whew, they smell like Funyuns.
Home Alone!
Hey, those must be Catherine's shoes.
You wish.
What?
Farewell, Mosby Pomegranate, victim of fallen arches.
On the bright side, at least he wasn't completely smashed by a car.
Yeah, let that be a lesson to you kids out there. Walk.
Special delivery, 2 tons of lime jello.
Wait, some of those people back there are already dead.
Monkey ghosts? No!
See, Trigby Phipps. He's the smaller one in Eclipse trying to make that bike go. His passenger is an old friend of ours, Slim Jim McDuffney. Slim Jim's bike recently collapsed from the effects of his diet.
Bananas and his
Frick,
own
he,
poop.
being a nice little fellow, agreed to ride him. Now, he knows that no auto driver would drive with a passenger in his lap.
Well, Britney
He
Spears
also
would.
knows that you can't see ahead very well with someone on the handlebars, and that you can't control the bike well, and that you can't make signals either. Furthermore, it is tiring, right?
Over there, Hardee's, me see thick burger.
Oh, la belle comme ça, merci.
Aye, aye, aye.
Mamma mia!
We're nearing the event horizon.
Alice in Wonderland!
Samara from The Ring.
Bugs Bunny.
So long, fellas. There seems to be a flaw in the buddy system.
Mutual death.
Woo! Whitney's chili. Not good.
That is the scariest looking girl I've ever seen in my life.
You've obviously never seen LaToya Jackson.
Oh, don't say that.
Meet Nellie Swybach. She's as nice
Yeah,
as can
go
be
on.
foot. But when she gets on that bike, sweet Nellie becomes terribly impatient with other people's driving. Although there are only a few left now, she's having trouble sharing the street
Trouble?
with them.
I shake my fist at you.
So, Melvert is about to make a decision she'd never make if she weren't angry.
She's going to eat 2 pints of Edie's
she
double
goes.
fudge ice cream.
There she goes. She knows that riding on the sidewalk isn't allowed in her
I
city
think
and
she's
many
got that
others.
disease where your
And
arms
even
just
where
does what it
is,
wants and you have no
pedestrians
control
always have
over
the
it.
right of way.
Phenobarbital knocked that
But
right
Melvert's
out.
upset.
Obey.
And
Submit.
she'd like to know
Surrender.
just one good reason why she shouldn't take over the sidewalk all to herself.
Aunt Bee and Clara.
No, my Marita bread.
My Coburg milk!
My Minute Maid orange juice.
My hip replacement.
My cochlear implant!
My new retinas.
Ouch, this is one of those bits that really hurts a lot when you
Those
squeeze
noise
it.
transportation of Filbert Bagel.
Lancelot
Filbert
Link,
hates his old bike.
secret
He
chimp.
refuses to take care of it because his folks will probably give him a new one for his birthday. He can't see any reason for taking care of a heap of junk, even if he made it that way himself. He will in a moment. You see, he doesn't know. But he'll find out that there's not a shred of a brake left.
But don't his handlebars work?
I am also hyperextended!
Ew.
Gross.
Now, Filbert
Flat
would
bird.
be the first to agree that if it's worth riding, it's worth taking care of. Right?
Left.
Right.
Fight the power.
All our friends are very dead, but we're still gonna have a picnic.
Quickly meet Stanislaw Hickenbottom while you can. He's a nice boy, but he won't be
Ah,
with us
this
long.
is really cooling off my pits.
Get that tongue in, boy. You'll bite it off.
Whoa, where'd the Appalachian Turnpike come from all of a sudden?
Seconds from disaster on the National Geographic Channel.
You are now looking straight at
You are
Stanislaw
looking live at
Hickenbottom.
Madison Square
He
Garden,
has
where
neither
tonight a
lights
monkey
nor
will fight an
reflectors.
RV and lose.
I saw that same gag in a Roadrunner cartoon.
Stan!
Stanislaw
My man!
just wasn't
Usual.
quite bright enough. All of which leaves Auburn.
Aw, Bill.
My dad used to take us there on picnics.
My dad once tried to abandon our pet cat there once.
Did he eat too much?
No, got too pregnant.
In memoriam.
Except for that guy whose feet just hurt really badly.
He'll get fat, all right. And here's why he ended up with all these groceries.
He's drinking a
doesn't really
sewage
want.
sample.
This was Rooty Toot Jasperson. Maybe you remember why he didn't make the picnic. He didn't signal, just once. Do you recall Tinkerbell?
No.
A
Do you
German
recall
filly?
me falling asleep
She
during that
forgot to
part?
watch the signals.
She should have
Just
DVR'd
once.
it.
And good old Phil Flugel, he rode up the wrong side of the street. Once. Mossby Pomegranate was the walking one. He didn't get
Yeah,
around to
but he's
registering
still
his bike and
alive.
getting a license.
They still make those shoes.
Taken him only a few minutes. The small one was Trigby Phipps, and his passenger was Slim Jim McGuffney. They rode double into trouble. Who can forget Nelbert Swyback? She wanted
Someone
to
with
know one good
Alzheimer's,
reason
duh.
why the sidewalks didn't belong to her. Then there was Filbert Bagel. He didn't take care of his brakes, so they didn't take care of him.
So it was a revenge
And
killing.
good old Stanislaw Higginbottom. No lights, no reflector.
No Christmas.
No Halloween.
No birthdays.
So that's
Sewage
why
and
Alden
wink.
Slump is picnicking alone today. He watched the signals. He obeyed traffic signs. He made hand signals. He rode alone. He stayed on the right side of the street, got a license.
Got a haircut.
Rode just like auto drivers drive, and kept the brakes and all in good condition. And he got fat.
Then he died of a heart attack.
Just sort of prolong the
It was
inevitable.
very lonely. But not as lonely as this.
Cool.
I want to see the one that got mashed by a steamroller.
But then, as anyone can plainly see, he wasn't a monkey.
He was a
Right.
sea otter.
Need
Now,
another cup
that
of
sounds
popcorn
as if
over
you really
here.
mean it, right?
Wrong.
It's a little chilling how he's sitting there calmly eating a bunch of dead people's lunches.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Goodbye, Chimpville. I'll always remember you. In my nightmares.
One time I had to get laughing gas at the dentist, and when I woke up from it, it felt just like watching that movie.
I really learned a lot from it too. Hey, I'm feeling like some Starbucks right about now.
Well, instead of going to get Starbucks, which none of us like, why don't you get us some Orange Julius's, which we all love?
Hey, yeah, I haven't had caffeine all day.
I don't know if she's quite ready yet.
Are you kidding? I'll watch out for manholes, new signals, and all that junk.
Well, just to be on the safe side, why don't we take a look at today's mini movie?
Let me introduce you to 5 elegant children. They are all very friendly and all love riding their bicycles wherever they go. One day, they decide to have a picnic in a park not far from where they are now, just over the border in El Segundo. They all went home and made themselves some sandwiches. I know that doesn't sound likely, but it's true, right? Right? I said right? Answer me! Right. Now then, they made all these sandwiches and put them in paper sacks and gathered together to ride over to the park. One of the 5 was a very hungry type. His name was Fatback McQuaid, and he had a habit of sitting on anyone he didn't like. At last they were ready to go, so they hopped on their bikes and rode off. Allow me to introduce you to this young lass. Her name is Stint Shuntblower, and she is a very hungry girl. She's one of those students who just can't wait to get food into her mouth. You know the type, right? Right. They sit in a quiet corner at recess, digging into their lunch bag, stuffing in every chocolate pudding snack pack, every flavor-blasted nacho cheese goldfish cracker, and every crumb and morsel of their mother's delicious ham sandwich. The kind that Mama Cass choked on all those years ago. Well, of course, Stint Shuntblower couldn't wait until she reached the park before she ate her lovely Saturday sandwich. Mmm. A delicious and elegant fluffernutter delight. Creamy Jif and heavy on the marshmallow cream. Unfortunately, Stint isn't the tidiest of eaters, especially given a repast as resplendent as Fluffernutter, and that can cause problems. Stint is about to be introduced to this. It's a Toyota Camry. Of course, being a Toyota, the gas pedal has an inconvenient peculiarity. It likes to get stuck. And so does Stint Shunt Blower. Her hands, that is. You see, they're covered in gooey, sticky fluffernutter. She'd like to be able to jump off her bicycle right now. If her bike is going to be smashed by an out-of-control Toyota, it would be much better for Stint if she weren't on it. Unfortunately for Stint. Always wash your hands after eating. This is Berry Berry Bosco. A friendly sort she is. At times a little too friendly. Anytime she sees someone, she simply has to stop and talk to them, even if she doesn't have anything to talk about. There's someone now. That nice hobo looks just like someone who would be an interesting conversationalist. Perhaps, thinks Berry Berry, she could ask him what sort of cans he most favors collecting. And what's it like to not have to always be cleaning up one's room and making one's bed? Unfortunately for Berry Berry, our intriguing hobo isn't interested in conversation. He's interested in transportation, specifically Berry Berry's very, very brand new bike. Goodbye, bike, and goodbye, ham sandwich, the kind that Mama Cass choked on. And goodbye, Berry Berry Bosco. Never talk to strangers. Our next bicyclist is a brave chap named Mbalelo Mzamani. She thinks nothing of riding as fast as she can to jump over a ditch filled with piranha or a pit of electrified worms. Alas, there's not much action on the streets today. Mbalelo will have to create her own heroics. She reaches into her bag and pulls out a ham sandwich? Not much dangerous about that, unless you're Mama Cass. Let's see, what else is in there? Aha, this looks interesting. Now be careful, Mbalelo. You might just drop it. Adieu, adieu, Mbalelo Mzamani. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Don't play with seismic charges. Well, well, only 2 easy riders remain. I wonder if either of them will make it back alive. It might be Ebola Blisterstein. There's nothing that could make her violate any of the accepted rules of riding a bicycle. Not purposefully, anyway. But what's this? Oh, Ebola, you should never, never pull leaves from trees. You don't know where those leaves have been. I don't know if that's such a good idea, Ebola. Well, what do you know? Another one bites the dust. Don't eat plants with 3 leaves. Well, when it was all said and done, only one young rider made it to the park alive. Fatback McQuaid. And do you know why? He followed all those other rules that bikers usually forget about. He washed his hands after eating. He didn't talk to strangers. He did not play with seismic charges. And he did not eat plants with 3 leaves. And do you know that he got fat? Even fatter than before. In fact, he was so fat and he ate so much that when he tried to put just one more bite of ham sandwich into his mouth, poof. just like Mama Cass.
Stallings, do you remember where you were when Mama Cass died?
Hoping to one day be born? That happened before I arrived on the scene. Same with Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and Elton John.
Elton John's not dead.
Well, that's your opinion.
Who's Elton John?
Let's take a look at what we learned.
And who's Mama Cass?
It is important to practice good bicycle safety habits. This will keep you and others from getting hurt or even killed on the roadways.
Highways or dieways, the choice is yours.
Right.
Wear a helmet. Wear proper clothing so that you can be seen.
Stay on the right side of the road. Be aware of the traffic around you.
Stay alert and keep a lookout for the unexpected. Always use reflectors and don't ride at night.
Follow designated bike routes. Check your bike to make sure everything is in good working order.
Especially the brakes.
Use hand signals. Don't carry anyone on your bicycle.
These rules aren't just about keeping you safe. They're about keeping others safe as well.
That's why bicycle safety is all about putting others first. It isn't fair to put pedestrians at risk because you're too cool to follow safety procedures.
And it's not right to put drivers through the guilt of hitting and hurting you on your bicycle when it was your responsibility to avoid an accident.
Maybe worst of all, think of the pain you'll cause your family and friends if something tragic were to happen to you.
So put others ahead of yourself by following bicycle safety rules. Now do you think I'm ready to ride down and get us some OJs?
I think so.
Hey, make mine strawberry.
Eat my dust, amigos! Oh! Metalworm!
Hope you brought your own snack.
I did. Chicken rings. Bye.
Be seeing you.
My uncle swallowed a frog.
Is he okay?
Okay, the doctor said he's liable to croak at any minute.